Previously, in the end of the episode 2 of Re-Monster, Goburou becomes the leader of the goblins and soon he started to make them more civilized. He trained other goblins in combat and one day he goes into the forest to hunt down monsters to absorb their skills. Cannibalism was Goburou's specialty, but there he faced a red grizzly bear and was near death, although he did win in the end. So Goburou ate its meat and leveled up enough to evolve into an red ogre, so when he got back home no one recognized Goburou, but only Gobmi realized he's Goburou and scolded him for risking his life. Their other goblins were shocked and Gobiji tells them that Goburou is the only goblin to have evolved into an ogre while he was only born just a month ago, so the meeting ran late, and after completing that, Goburou wants to find some clothes for his size, but Red Hair and Gobmi keeps following him, and when he got to the storage, other girls were scared seeing Goburou, so he explained and showed them he's just Goburou. But Gobmi was certainly jealous. Then Goburou goes to Blacksmith Girl because his weapon was beat up. She suggested she made a knife with spirit stone. So Goburou thanked her for the hard work, but Gobmi and Red Hair were pinching hard because of jealousy. Then the twins asked Goburou that they need help in the kitchen and he knew 3 goblin girls who could help them. Twins have nice housekeeping skills, so Goburou thinks they would be wonderful wives someday and proposed them to marry him. For this twins were on cloud 9, but Red Hair and Gobmi were mad. Then he goes to the alchemist. But she had a poison in there. She tells Goburou that she made it to protect herself. But now she trusts that there are nice goblins like Goburou here whom she could trust, so to make her relax, Goburou lifts her up, which cheered her up, but behind him the two were giving him a death stare, so he gives his attention to them as well, and seeing everyone happy made him happy as well. But the next day, Goburou learns that he can't train anyone or else he'll accidentally kill someone. Gobkichi is angry that he's left behind and goes to hunt monsters to level up. Then the days were going well, nice, and peaceful, while Goburou keeps working even with just one hand. He had consumed a slime so the slime skills were coming in handy, but he asks Hapji to return his book but she refused. Then the next day while Goburou sits down for lunch, Gabby came running with an injured wood-type person, so Goburou casts a healing spell on her, and after a while she woke up. She was thankful to them and told them her name is Returner. She was attacked by a bunch of humans and Goburou could guess it's because of her diamond on her forehead. There she begged for help as she has less time left. Well, Returner was created by a legendary mage Velvet and she was guardian of her master's treasury, and those humans attacks her and damaged her core. Apparently, her master despises humans and would rather give his treasures to them than to humans, so before those humans steal it, Returner told them she wants to give it to them. So Goburou agreed and made a team for expedition. There he asked Blacksmith for the magic knife, but Red Hair seemed worried, so Goburou promised he won't kill anyone on a whim. He wants to talk it out, and if humans won't back out, he had to resort to violence. With that they goes to her place and Goburou was finding those humans. There they showed up themselves and one of their guy tried to kill him. They were badmouthing Goburou because he's a monster, and kept attacking Goburou and refused to listen. They had nice magic gears, and the mage attacked Goburou right on his face. Now that was enough to tick him, so others came out and gave them what they understood the most. Then after beating them up to pulp, Goburou eats out their magic gears and started absorbing its skill, even got inventory from magic bag item. Then as promised, Returner took them to treasury and showed them her master. He was a skilled in communicating with spirit so he had many spirit stones in treasury. And with that Returner bids her farewell. And Gabby felt bad for her and Gobkichi was there to support her. Later, they gave a moment of silence to Returner and Mage and then collected the treasure down to the bones. But Goburou burns the mage's body and it left behind a gauntlet that comes in handy to Goburou, but taking that triggered the collapse of the place, so everyone left but had nice loot in their hand. So Goburou and others parties hard to celebrate for their loot. Then Goburou found out weapons in the treasury were legendary class. So he gave it to 15 hobgoblins and goes out to test their new weapons. They hunted down a bear and twins made a feast for them, but soon after that Goburou left to explore the forest to get more monster to copy their skills. He got a golden spider, and got an antelope to copy their skill. Then wandering around he got to a beautiful tree and Goburou knew he's in trouble. Well, there's a race called dryads in this world that seduce men to absorb their life force, just like succubus. I'm sure I don't need to explain the work of succubus, and there the dryad showed up and started to charm Goburou. Luckily for her, it worked, and Goburou released his pent-up powers, and with that, the action lasted for 5 hours straight, so Dryad was impressed and invited to Goburou again. Goburou tells he'll think about it, and while returning, he took a bath in the river and killed the lizard men that attacked him. With it, he returns home the next day, and Hobji found 2 goblin mage. She was looking forward to teaching them, so Goburou left. He goes to blacksmith girl, but she ignored him. The same behavior goes with Gobmi too, so Goburou asked others about them. Some said no idea, and some said understand on your own. Goburou was confused, and even Red Hair ran away from him, so Goburou asks Alchemist. And she tells him that they are jealous because he has a few love bites. It was the work of that dryad. So Alchemist tells him she feels the same and kissed Goburou to make him understand her feelings. Their Gobmi got pissed, but she tells him to let her join in as well. That made other 4 uneasy and they asked to let them in for the group adventures as well. So now I don't need to explain any further. Goburou made a soundproof wall and decided to take responsibility for what comes next, and with that, episode 3 comes to an end. But like the video to watch more episodes of this anime. And subscribe to the channel if you don't want to miss out on any of our updates. Until then, take care.